Hey, this is Mita here, the founder of Future Voices, this channel that is meant to help leaders become better speakers and people become better leaders. And if you are here, then you want to know a thing or two about anxiety when it comes to presenting or public speaking. First of all, I'm a coach. I'm not a medical doctor, so I speak from experience as a coach. And also, as a person having dealt with much anxiety in my life. So here's my take on it from, I guess, a little bit more of a philosophical point of view. So you see, I believe the world you see outside of yourself, that everybody sees outside of ourselves, is merely an illusion. But I don't believe this in a woo-woo kind of way. My belief is based on the solid fact that no two people see the world alike. Even an eye doctor would confirm that. I see different colors out there than you do. You might see gray, I see dark blue. You might see greenish, I see reddish. The light does not hit the eyes in the same way. And the stories in my mind of the same events you and I both witnessed can be very different. And the more you repeat the stories, the more times you retell the story. The memory of the story, in fact, also changes. This is a proven neuroscientific fact. Our brain reconsolidates the truth, in fact, every 2 hours of the day. So with new information, with you repeating the story, you and I both have the ability to see things, think about things differently. We all know how to change our mind, right? So it's simple. I change my mind all the time. New info, change, bam, it's there. So in this sense, I believe it's our inner world that we need to focus on in terms of selecting information we trust, the information that benefit us, and disregarding, things that don't really serve us, like worry about the what-ifs of the future. Anxiety comes from wanting to have more control over the exterior life. And in the context of communication and presentation and speaking, well, we want to be able to be in control what other people think or feel. People, what are they thinking? Will they like, accept, protect, include us? Sometimes we think we know what other people are thinking. And it doesn't even matter if we're right or wrong. What matters is it's not important. We place too much weight on other people's thinking, due to their somewhat exterior power, the leverage they have, like if they are your boss or your employer or some VIP in your industry. We feel that pressure on us. And that is sometimes okay. It means that you have hopes and dreams and ambitions. And yes, well, sometimes other people can help you open doors, and they can also sometimes cross your path and change that path a little bit with their actions. But here's the thing. We don't really know the route our lives will take. Remember that quote. I love that quote. If you want to make God laugh, tell them your plans. I believe the more fixated we get on these exterior illusions, the more anxious we can become in the world of our interior. It's a bit like you are this water bottle and your interior is the water. So your illusions represent the pressure forces upon that bottle. Imagine if forces are working on that bottle from too many different directions simultaneously. What would happen when the forces start squeezing that bottle? The bottle would just crack open and the water would burst all over the place. Now imagine, what if you can just move the bottle? Just move the bottle away from these forces. Imagine the pressures, the forces are like, in front of the bottle now, not on the bottle, but in front of the bottle. So it's a bit like you're here and everything that's happening outside is not on you. You don't feel the pressure, but it's in front of you. You kind of detach yourself away from that pressure. Now, let me give you an example. If a person is running towards you, about to knock you down, all you really have to do is move away. And his kinesthetic energy, the force with which this person had run, will continue to propel them forward. This is the logic behind the martial art of Aikido. Aikido is about self-defense, and its prime philosophy is about using as little energy as possible to defend yourself against the world. So in this sense, to move the bottle metaphorically means to move your mind away from the forces of potential, future, outcome, also like past, whatever it may be, just kind of remove yourself from this trajectory. Your mind has the power to focus on pretty much anything it wants. And the more we focus on the exterior and what's happening there, the more we kind of live under the illusion that we do have some power to kind of mess with it and control it. We can take action, but control we don't have as much. I think it's better to trust than to control. But we do have the power to control the interior, way more than we like to believe. And this is why I also say that the exterior world is illusional, but the interior world, it is imaginary, but we do have control over what we imagine, right? Now, I know what you're gonna say. Meta, the problem does not just go away. Yes, of course, there are forces out there and we have to deal with them and we have to make decisions about that. Yes. How do we know that we are making the right decisions? Well, here's the thing, we don't. And even if we are making the right decision at the time, this can still morph into the worst choice you ever made, and vice versa. You can make a bad choice, but then in time it can turn out to be something great. And this way I want to introduce you to the word I really love. It's the word Upaya. It's an old word originating from Buddhism and other cultures that know this word as well. I won't go to the etymology of this, but rather I want to explain to you my own understanding of its meaning. So Upaya represents this curvy path to the ultimate destination, which is the ultimate truth. Like Upaya, it means that there is no direct path towards the one truth, the truth of enlightenment, like in Buddhism, The real path is the path of many semi-truths that in the course of your life you get to understand many truths that ultimately shift and morph. And by this, they lead you to discover newer truths. Like here's an example. As a kid, you might have believed your parents are the most powerful people in the universe. Now, you probably needed to believe that to feel safe at that point in time, but then maybe later you realized that, oh my God, my parents are just as human, just like everyone else. So you had a truth, but then you skewed onto another truth. For you at that time, this was the right truth. Then later on, this morphed and changed. So in the context of public speaking, to me, Upaya represents every situation, be it a win or a fail situation. It is a moment of your semi-truth. It's Upaya, it means that you are trusting that the forces of the exterior are there for a reason, even if you failed miserably, but they did bring you closer, that tiny bit closer to that ultimate destination in your life, and perhaps you needed that exact fail right then to come to that destination. So if we kind of connect now, moving the bottle, saving your energy with the Upaya, this means don't worry, as there is no such thing as only one solution that you can figure out. Rather, the path itself is the solution, the moving of the bottles constantly from one truth to the other. I hope you found some meaning in my words. I actually love sharing not just presentation tips, but also my own personal beliefs around this, my own thinking and feeling with you, as I believe that this is me giving you much more than just some bullet points you can potentially get out of a ChatGPT nowadays. I love to connect with you, so you are invited to comment and leave me your thoughts, and also, of course, subscribe and stay on this channel and watch more videos. It's lovely that we've talked about this philosophical point of view about speaking. So stay cool and make sure that you speak soon.